we're back on the Morning Brew with friends. We have an awesome conversation going here this morning. This is great. We got Colleen and Gigi from Gigi from Bernalillo County here, Dr. Yu, and you've been working with Albuquerque Public Schools and with the county on some pretty cool projects. And I think right now you're working with the New Mexico Wonder of Learning Collaborative.
Right. Actually, I want to thank you because the Morning Brew has had Badgie Rankin on a few times to talk about the Wonder of Learning exhibit that was here from Reggio Emilia, Italy.
Right.
And that exhibit left in November, but we have carried on a lot of wonderful events for young children and their families, and that's what we're here to talk about today.
Great. And what the big one this weekend is at the Bukeki Open Space, right?
Yep, it's going to be Sunday from 1 to 4, and it's the Wonder of Learning in Nature.
And what is that? I mean, we can always learn about nature. What's this one going to focus on?
Well, this is going to focus on, and Gigi may want to elaborate, but really using literacy and the Reggio Emilia philosophy of early childhood to inspire kids and their families to further explore nature. And specifically, we're going to give them a challenge to focus on the river, the Rio Grande, and to come up with, through their explorations, with an exhibit that they're going to come back to display on the 1st of May. And that's going to be a part of the National River Rally event, which is also a really cool event. So we've got lots of tie-ins, as we typically do.
Very cool.
But I just have to say, this is such a rich program, the Wonder of Learning. It is something that I think is very inspirational and will help educators and parents to inspire their children to really tap into that innate curiosity to explore nature. And again, the focus is going to be through literacy.
Very cool. And you're a doctor of education. And how does this philosophy differ from what we might see in normal schooling or even alternative schooling here?
Well, the Reggio Emilia philosophy starts with a foundation of respecting children and their ideas, and really portrays the image of children as strong and capable. So that's kind of the foundation of the approach. And
because they can do way more things than we could ever imagine, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. So that's what, that's the kind of the foundation of it. The learning is very hands-on, and it really builds off of children's interests, and it involves a lot of different ways of children being allowed to express their ideas.
Cool. So how does that translate into these events at Bukeki this next weekend? So
the Bukeki is going to offer a really interesting learning space because it's outdoors.
Right. And there's bugs and birds and trees and stuff.
Exactly. So we're going to look at literacy. And I also want to say thank you to the Albuquerque Junior League because they're one of the sponsors of these events for families.
Great.
And so this event, we're going to really focus on literacy and how literacy can connect children to nature and how nature can connect children to literacy. So it'll be some very hands-on opportunities for children and their families.
So a little bit of reading will be involved.
Storytelling.
Yeah. Very cool.
And we have the families, so it's parents of young children and also teachers of young children are invited to come out, and they can bring their children if they would like. And so after a very brief presentation, we're going to have them rotate through 3 different stations where they'll see different modeling of ways to inspire, again, children using literacy. And then after that, we'll come back together, we'll have snack time, we'll talk about that as a group, and then we're going to talk about this challenge that we're giving everybody for the exhibit in May, so that they have something to take away with them and then to come back with to really show the public. And the May event will also be a public event. And we have people from the National River Rally coming from all over the nation to talk about river issues. And so they'll get to see some of these kids' artwork that I have no doubt will be very inspiring.
Yeah, and what are you looking for that work? I mean, is this going to be stuff that's based on, like dioramas based on their experiences this weekend, that kind of thing? Or is it just kind of wide open?
Yeah, we actually had an exhibit a couple falls ago where it involved children and nature objects, and it was pretty wide range of examples that people brought.
Very cool. So I know that, there's lots of parents who are wondering, how do we do this every day at home? How do you keep encouraging your kids every day to learn this kind of stuff?
Well, I think that this event will kind of encourage that.
How the parents some techniques too?
Exactly, that's exactly right. So the presenters, we'll have different workshops and presenters, and they'll engage the children and the adult at the same time to give adults ways to encourage children to use lots of different language and nature and using natural objects to tell stories and So I think they'll be very practical things and things that parents can take with them as well.
Very cool. I think my parents let me like pick up a rock and
Yeah.
make up a story about
Exactly.
it when I was a kid. That kind of stuff,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
That's very cool.
How you build on that and encourage it.
That's very cool. So I know there's a lot of other county stuff too going on. Is there anything else?
You know, this week is huge. So tonight, actually, we're doing another one of our stories of the Middle Rio Grande. This is for an adult audience, and we're talking about the history of the downtown Albuquerque area. We're then throughout the year going to be moving north. Yes,
My
okay.
hood.
You should come because you could learn about the history of your own area and kind of how it came to be what it is today. And then this weekend, I know you're going to be talking about this later on your program, but we're really excited to be celebrating the Cesar Chavez March and Fiesta.
Danny's here. He's going to tell us a little bit
That's
about
right.
the march that he's organizing too.
At one of our open spaces in the South Valley, this part isn't open to the public. We already have scheduled 350 students to come out to Sanchez Farm and learn about Cesar Chavez's legacy, as well as get involved in some hands-on farming activities. It'll be tremendous.
That'll be a blast, actually.
Oh, and we have a backyard farming series on Saturday as well. Yes, Saturday from 9 o'clock.
How do you keep track
we
of all this
are
stuff in your head?
Right? It is. It's a really busy season, but we just are offering a lot for the public. So I hope they'll get involved, both in the South Valley, what we're doing down there, as well as in the North Valley with the Wonder of Learning.
Very cool. And Gigi, how did you get involved with the collaborative in the first place? Did you go to Italy and meet the folks there, or?
I actually did have an opportunity to go to Italy many years ago, but I have been studying the Reggio Emilia philosophy for several years. And in Albuquerque, we decided to bring this exhibit from Reggio Emilia to Albuquerque so that our community could learn more about this approach. So the exhibit was here from
what was it,
June.
that kind of inspired you about it? What was
about
the
the approach?
that you were like, this is awesome, and I got to tell the world about it.
Well, I think, one of it is really the respect for children and their ideas. I think often we don't respect children and their ideas about things, and that's really what we want to be doing and encouraging children. And I think that the ability to have children communicate in so many different languages, through arts, through movement, and really go in depth with projects versus being very surface.
And they can experience all of that, learn how to do more of it this Sunday at the Bikeki Open Space.
Yes.
And burnco.gov, they can find out all of that?
They can. They have to register for this particular event. So
parents register now. And we'll be back in a couple of seconds on the Morning Brew with our friend Angie. Who's going to talk to us about a big weekend that she's having with a bunch of cars and motorcycles and all kinds of stuff in Tucumcari coming up.
Busy weekend.
Right?